Good morning, everyone. For those of you who are newly arrived, I'm Rob Barron. I'm the Deputy Chair of the Department of Theater and Speech here. I want to welcome you. So glad you're here. And we are going to start the commencement exercises soon. So I'm asking everybody if you will turn off your devices. And when the graduates start marching in, you can stay in your seats and appreciate them from afar and applaud or whistle or shout, whatever you want to do. But thank you so much for coming. This is a great day. Talk to you soon.
Boots. Start walking.
Good morning, everyone. It's the big moment. Welcome to the commencement exercises of the City College of New York, celebrating its 175th anniversary. Today you will witness the members of the class of 2022 as they join the ranks of this great institution's alumni, which include, among others, General Colin Powell, Silicon Valley titan Andrew Grove, Dr. Jonas Salk, and 10 Nobel laureates, more than any other U.S. public college or university. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the class of 2022. They will begin their march behind you and march to the right. They're being led by Provost Tony Liss. He will be followed by Adam Morsi, Vice President of Public Affairs, Undergraduate Student Government, and Jennifer Bowen, Executive Chair of the Graduate Student Council. They flank the banner of the class of 2022. Our academic procession begins with the graduates from the CUNY School of Medicine, participating in their first in-person commencement ceremony. It's led by Dr. Carmen Renee Green, Burt Brodsky Chair and Dean. They are followed by the graduates from the Sophie Davis Biomedical Education Program, led by Ebube Chukwu Obiora and Haley Young. Next entering are our PhD graduates, led by Artie Waltzer, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs for Graduate and Undergraduate Studies, the Grove School of Engineering, followed by our master's and undergraduate candidates, starting with the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership. entering are students from the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership, led by Dr. Andrew Rich, Richard J. Henley, and Susan L. Davis, Dean. Anissa Saeed, Elisa DeStefano, Danielle Evans, and Teresa Matella, and Abigail Raganot flank the banner. The Colin Powell valedictorian, Anissa Saeed, is a biracial Pakistani-Italian-American, majoring in international studies with minors in public policy and psychology. She's the president of CCNY's undergraduate student government. Now, post-graduation, Anissa has been accepted into the Integrated Design and Media Master's Program at NYU and Master's in Human-Computer Interaction at RIT. Colin Powell selected 5 salutatorians for 2022. Teresa Matella was born and reared in Flushing, Queens, to South Asian immigrant parents. She studied international studies with a specialization in culture and communication, as well as sociology and journalism. Her reporting and journalism have appeared in the Queens Daily Eagle, the Queens Courier, Harlem View, the CUNY-run online site, The Nation, and the Wall Street Journal. Danielle Evans, a native of the South Bronx, is graduating with a BA in sociology. A mom of 2, Danielle's path to City College was inspired by visiting the campus when her son performed in the Langston Hughes Choral at Aaron Davis Hall in 2018. Danielle is now a policy support specialist with the NYC Department of Education. She's headed to Harvard University's Graduate School of Education to pursue a master's degree in education leadership this fall. It's awesome. Abigail Raganot majored in political sciences and international studies. In 2021, she received the CCNY Humanitarian Award for her work with the Black Male Initiative and New York City's first South Asian sorority. Also, as part of her S.J. Levy Fellowship, she interned at Paul Weiss. She intends to pursue her Master of International Affairs at Columbia University School of International Affairs. And Elisa DeStefano is graduating with a Bachelor of Science, majoring in psychology and minoring in biology. She has volunteered with El Centro de Inmigrante and Project Hospitality, as well as interned at the New York State Institute for Basic Research in Developmental Disabilities. She will start the CUNY Graduate Center's Cognitive and Behavioral Neuroscience PhD program in the fall. All right. Now entering are the students from the Division of Humanities and the Arts, including the fabulous theater students. And they are led by Interim Dean Renata Miller. Lead graduates Tasneem Hoke and Claire Balani march with the dean and flank the banner. Tasneem Hoke is both a Jewish studies and psychology major with a minor in women's studies. After graduation, Tasneem will continue to work as a City College employee in the Department of Evaluation and Testing, and plans to apply to City College's mental health counseling graduate program to later pursue a career in mental health counseling. Claire Balani is a graduate of the MA in Language and Literacy program. Originally from Southern California, she received her BA in International Relations from Austin College. Her research at CCNY has focused on teaching English as a second language to adults. She will continue working at the International Rescue Committee, managing refugee youth and adult education programs. right, now entering the Division of Science. They are led by Dr. Susan Perkins, Martin and Michelle Cohen, Dean of Science, with lead students Oshika Chowdhury and Aviad Sussman flanking the school banner. Oshika is graduating with a Macaulay Honors Biology degree. She's been awarded the Edmund Behrman Scholarship in Natural Sciences for completing the biology core with the best performance in her courses. Oshika's many leadership positions include President of the National Pre-Medical Association, Treasurer of Epsilon Delta Pre-Health Honor Society, and a mentor at City Honors Illustrious Mentor Program. She aspires to become a family physician to not only provide medical help to patients, but also help make healthcare services more accessible to third world countries such as Bangladesh. Aviad is a graduating math MS student. As a student, he has been the recipient of the Dr. Barnett and Jean Hollander Rich Mathematics Scholarship, has completed a Rich Summer Research Internship, and has participated in the RAMMP research program. He has also taught calculus to undergraduates as an adjunct professor. Now entering are students from the Bernard and Ann Spitzer School of Architecture, led by Dean Marta Gutman, followed by Sustainability in the Urban Environment, led by Director Kyle McDonald. Architecture lead graduates Ahmed Hilal and Deirdre Nolan flank the Spitzer School banner. Ahmed Hilal is graduating at the top of his class with a Bachelor's of Architecture. His passion for architecture has allowed him to receive numerous awards and scholarships while at the Spitzer School. During his studies, Ahmed worked as an intern at CDC Abdel Halim in Cairo, Egypt, and Skidmore, Owings & Merrill in New York City. He will be joining Shop Architects after graduation. Now, top students Sarah Khan and Sabrina Tenteromano march with Director Kyle McDonald, Terry Elkins Professor, and flank the Sustainability in the Urban Environment banner. Sarah is a CCNY Lavender Heart student, currently serving with AmeriCorps at New York City Parks as a stewardship coordinator. She is connecting New Yorkers of all ages with opportunities to engage in environmental stewardship at Flushing Meadows Corona Park in the borough of Queens, where she was born and raised, and where she learned to embrace all cultures. She has immense passion for the outdoors and natural areas. She is a first-generation college graduate of Caribbean West Indian heritage and the first person in her family to receive a master's degree. Now entering are students from the School of Education, led by Dr. Edward Lamboy. Lead students Lily Wong and Kemba Lodeskar flank the banner. Lily Wong is an aspiring educator who is in CCNY's childhood education program with a concentration in language and literature. Presently, she has a GPA of 3.902 and is wrapping up her student teaching with a first grade ICT classroom in Brooklyn, as well as in the process of receiving her New York State teaching certification. She's also vice president of CCNY's Humanizing Club, which focuses on destigmatizing homelessness and social service. Kemba Lodeskar holds an AS in Fine and Performing Arts, a BFA in Music Education, and an MFA in Educational Theater. She's graduating with a GPA of 4.0. It's pretty good. She's the recipient of the Kurt Weill Memorial Scholarship Award, the Julius Poman Memorial Award, and the Hannah Simonson Award for Excellence in Teaching and Service. Kemba Ledescar is a passionate theater educator, a strong advocate for the advancement of the arts, and it is one of her greatest missions to equip teachers with knowledge of the power of arts integration. What was that? Now entering are the students from the Division of Interdisciplinary Studies at the Center for Worker Education. Dean Juan Carlos Mercado is flanked by lead graduates Dana Monahan and Darren Terraza. Dana is graduating summa cum laude from City College with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies concentrating in media, literature, and visual art. She's also a member of Phi Beta Kappa and Alpha Sigma Lambda Honors Societies. Dana will further her education by attending a graduate school to study theology and the media. Darren is a teacher and education director who is dedicated to serving children and families in many different communities. He's an activist who believes in fairness and providing equal, equitable opportunities for all. No matter the time, he is there for those who need help. And now entering our students from the Grove School of Engineering. Yeah. Led by Dr. Alexander Kouzis, Daniel and Francis Berg, Professor and Dean. Lead students Kareem Ibrahim and Anna Radonjic. Let's get back to those engineering students. I'm going to give them a second try over here. All right, let's give them another big hand. Now entering are the students from the Grove School of Engineering. Yeah. And I was telling you about the students who are flanking the banner. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kareem Ibrahim is a computer science graduate from Brooklyn within the Grove School of Engineering. Kareem has spent his undergraduate career mentoring aspiring computer science students, acting on the e-board for the CCNY Debate Club, and interning at a breadth of companies to prepare him for his future career. With his experience, Kareem was able to successfully secure full-time employment at the company he worked for last summer, Quicken, in Menlo Park, California. And as for Anna, Anna is a civil engineering graduate who currently works at Underpinnings and Foundation Skanska as a field engineer. She was born and raised in Queens, New York. She was very active on campus and served as president of the American Society of Civil Engineers chapter at Grove, and was a member of the Civil Engineering Student Council. And now it's my pleasure to introduce some of the people who had a little bit to do with your getting through your time at City College. It is my honor to introduce the distinguished faculty of the City College of New York, who are entering from the east side of the platform. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, faculty and graduates, we are lucky enough to welcome members from the classes from the 1950s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. They are going to be led into our ceremony today by Gary Kalnick, the president of the City College Alumni Association, and David Covington, the executive director of the Alumni Association. We are so pleased that so many of them are joining us today to celebrate you. Should I continue? Okay, should I keep going? Well, here's to the anniversary classes of the 2010s. We have with us the class of 2012 and 2013. From the 2000s, we have alumni from the anniversary classes of 2000, 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009. From the 1990s, we've got alumni from the class of 91, 93, 96, 98, and 99. And all the way through the 60s. Is that a yes? So for those of you who graduated in the 2010s, you may have danced with the 12th president of City College, Lisa Koiko, at Welcome Back Day in 2010. You may also have rallied to save the Student and Community Center, which was closed in 2013. And some of you may have attended the investiture of the 13th president of City College, Vince Boudreau, in the spring of 2018. Well, thanks for joining us, alumni. And now, I am pleased to announce the entrance of the Platform Party. So please help me welcome the members of our Platform Party, the officers of the college, distinguished honorees, honored guests, and leaders of our student government. The Provost of City College, Tony List, will be carrying the gavel. The Chief Marshal, Professor Janet Steele, will carry the mace, and will precede the 13th president of City College of New York, Dr. Vince Boudreau. Here they come.
President Boudreau, we are gathered for the 175th anniversary of the City College of New York as we celebrate the commencement exercises. With your permission, Dr. Boudreau, the ceremony will begin.
Let the commencement exercises begin.
Please rise as the color guard of the City University Army ROTC program presents the national colors as the national anthem is sung by the City College Jazz Vocal Ensemble. Please rise.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
Please be seated. City College is pleased to welcome all our special guests, today's graduates, and their families, and our alumni. Ken Sunshine, trustee of the City University of New York, will now bring greetings. Trustee Sunshine.
Thank you. Good morning, President Dr. Vincent Boudreau, distinguished faculty, guest families, and most importantly, City College graduating class of 22. It is my pleasure to welcome today's honorary degree recipients, Dr. Anthony Fauci and Stanley Nelson. Stanley Nelson Jr. is an internationally renowned director, writer, and producer of documentaries examining African American history and experiences. He is a recipient of the 2013 National Humanities Medal from President Obama and a MacArthur Fellow. He has won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards and many others. Most importantly, he's a City College graduate. Among his notable films are Freedom Riders, Wounded Knee, Sweet Honey in the Rock, Raise Your Voice, A Place of Our Own, and The Murder of Emmett Till. I've been privileged to work with Stanley and his wonderful wife, Marcia Smith, over the years. We couldn't be honoring a more talented and worthy artistic visionary. Dr. Anthony Fauci is an American treasure. He was appointed director of NIAID in 1984, oversees an extensive portfolio of basic and applied research to prevent, diagnose, and treat infectious diseases. Through his own research, the development of effective therapies for a host of diseases, including AIDS, and through his leadership in public health, Dr. Fauci has saved the lives of literally millions of men, women, and children the world over. And as we all know too well, as concern mounted over the spread of coronavirus COVID-19, Dr. Fauci again took the leadership in mobilizing American science to confront a deadly threat. He has been a voice of sanity in an insane time, an advocate for science and fact over mythology and fiction. And he has gotten us through among the most challenging times in our troubled nation's history. But more than anything, Dr. Fauci is a true Brooklyn guy through and through. He embodies the qualities of brains, dogged determination to do good, and sticking up for the little guy like real New Yorkers do, unlike some fake New Yorkers. And to state the obvious in a very New York way, Dr. Fauci won't take any crap from anyone. And he won't take any from anyone who lies, cheats, or doesn't believe in basic science. Today, we are honoring a true American hero. Graduates, first and foremost, my heartfelt congratulations to all of you on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York. Today represents a milestone in your life, and you deserve high praise for your perseverance, resiliency, and bravery during these unprecedented times. You did it despite an ongoing pandemic. You did it on Zoom, distance learning. But like real New Yorkers, you overcame those and many other challenges. Today, you've reached the finish line, but you're poised to start the next chapter of your lives. And as you look to the future, my only advice is to be bold and dream big. Be agents of change and make the world better for the next generations. Do better than my generation. And do it in the greatest city in the world where we celebrate diversity, welcome immigrants, and instead of trying to keep them out. Be outraged at the proliferation of gun culture and the seemingly routine slaughter of even children. Be outraged at the increasing gap between the very rich and everyone else. Be outraged at the denial of science and the open defiance of vaccinations and masking. America can and must do better than that. Engage in your communities and serve your city and New Yorkers with pride and integrity. We expect great things from all of you. On behalf of CUNY and everybody at the City University of New York, congratulations, class of 22.
And now here to welcome you and to present his charge to the students is the president of the City College of New York, Dr. Vince Boudreau.
Trustee Sunshine, distinguished guests, Dr. Fauci, Stanley Nelson, faculty, staff, family, friends, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews of our students, graduates of the City College of New York. Well, you've heard me say it before, you all have, maybe not back there. You are on our campus on the 175th anniversary of the founding of this great institution. This is, for me personally, my 30th commencement at City College. And I started those commencements in 1992 doing, I think, what a lot of assistant professors do, walking down the aisle, looking for the students that I had taught. At that point, not very many had made it to graduation. You'd walk down the aisle and you'd say, you know, you made it. You made it. Oh, you made it. Sean Chin Chance, I'm talking to you. Not true. Not true. But over the years, it became more and more difficult for me to think about commencement as the achievements of individual students that I taught. Not that I didn't value the individual achievements, and you are being celebrated as individuals for the achievements that you've made. Coming to City College for some of you will change the entire history of your family. Your children, your younger brothers and sisters, your nieces and nephews will look to you to validate the dream that they may have of a life of accomplishment, of a life of education, the possibility of college. If you are the first in your family to walk this path, you have made it incalculably more easy for those who follow you. So I saw all of that in the subsequent commencements over the years. But more than that, I started to see the commencements as being part of a single thing, not the class of 2000, 2001, 2002, but the phenomenon every year of a generation of City College students moving into the world with the vision and the charge and the responsibility of this institution. There are, in fact, 2 city colleges, and you are at the moment where you are leaving one and joining another. Out in the world, you will find yourself surrounded in positions of exaltation and quiet positions with your colleagues, people you meet, people that will come up to you if you're wearing your City College gear, saying, I too came to this place. And what you all have in common, by virtue of what you studied here and what you brought into the world, is the ethos of this institution. The fact that we were founded as a place to educate the whole people, because if we did not do that as a society, if we didn't do it as a city, we would be depriving ourselves of an incalculable amount of talent. You have asked questions that don't get asked anyplace else. We live in a society where the medical care that is offered to many parts of our population is inequitable. But generation after generation, we have graduated doctors dedicated to the idea of bridging that gap, particularly in the realm of primary care. We live in a city and in a nation where educational opportunity is not equitably distributed. But from its founding 100 years ago, the School of Education at City College has studied what it would take to bridge those educational equity gaps. And in fact, over 90 years ago, pioneered a curriculum devoted to promoting the welfare and education of inner city children, particularly students of color, 90 years ago. Power, economic power, social power, cultural power is not distributed equally in our society, but we have and have had since the late 1970s programs in social science, now the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership, dedicated to bridging those gaps in power. In fact, the social sciences at City College were organized as such in the late 1970s as a specific response to the crisis of New York City at that time. Fixing gaps in equity is in our DNA. In architecture, we graduate builders who understand that the built environment must reflect the aspirations of the whole people. In science, we have scientists that in their research, in the things they imagine, are focused on asking the questions, finding answers to puzzles that bedevil our society, particularly the under-resourced corners of that society. And you can go discipline by discipline, school by school, classroom by classroom, student by student, graduating class after graduating class, and you find the same thing. We are known as one of the nation leaders in promoting social mobility, and we do that in 2 ways. We do it, first of all, in your lives, in the lives of the 175 years of people that have studied in this institution. You may think on this graduation day that you are what you are going to become, and you are not. You will continue to learn. You will continue to grow. You will take the tools that you acquired at this institution and become smarter, more accomplished, more dedicated, more experienced as the years go on. And you have no idea where that journey will take you. But I will say this, carry with you the ethos of this place. Execute those skills in the service of the whole people. Understand that you graduate not from any kind of college, but a college that is a fundamental institution of our democracy. So now let me ask you, do you feel it? We have graduated Supreme Court justices, engineers that have built our city, doctors, scientists, the heads of industry, secretaries of state, Nobel Prize winners, inventors of vaccinations. Do you feel part of that legacy? Do you understand that those people were exactly in the position that you are right now? And when you leave this place, you are as much a part of them as they are part of you. Carry City College with you. We will never forget you. You are our hope and our joy. Congratulations, graduates.
The salutatory address will now be given by Ali Khalil, salutatorian of the class of 22. Following his address, Mr. Khalil will be presented with the City College Alumni Association's Medal of Excellence. He will be presented by Mr. Gary Kalnick, President of the Alumni Association.
Good morning to the class of 2022. Thanks to everyone for coming and supporting us today in this wonderful event. President Boudreaux, our distinguished guests, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and Mr. Stanley Nelson, Senator Schumer, professors, families, friends, and of course, today's graduates. To be honest with you all, I haven't thought about standing here today. All I was worrying about just graduating and focusing on the next step. And maybe that's why I'm here. There are people who have supported me during my journey, and I wouldn't be where I am today without their support. Number one, first and foremost, I'm thankful for what God has given me, and He continues to give me far more than I have ever imagined. Number two, I'm thankful for my parents, my dad, he's right there, and my mom, who I wish she was here today. But also there are people, if I did not mention their names, then I wouldn't be giving them what they deserve. Professor Isa Salami, Professor David Lohman, Dean Susan Perkins, Tessa Miller, Professor Kevin Hall, and Ms. Teresa Scala, and of course, someone who is a warrior, someone who is great, Mrs. Talley, our great advisor. You know, when I was thinking about this speech, I was like, how can I get, the energy of the audience? And I was like, I should speak about Angelina Jolie, or, So I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to be a perfect person, like Angelina Jolie, LeBron James, Elon Musk, Kamala Harris, or even Dr. Fauci? We think they are the perfect people, but I bet they had their struggles too. Right, Dr. Fauci? So don't strive for perfection, but rather aim for progress. And understand that there will be struggles and there will be difficulties. The road is very long and bumpy, but at the end of it, it is very rewarding. You know, I struggled a lot with language when I came here to this country in 2016. You know, I faced greater difficulties communicating with teachers and students. But I'm very thankful where I am today. My advice for you is to focus on what makes you successful, and don't focus on what prevents you from reaching that success. And I'm gonna tell you why is this important. You know, I'm studying to become a doctor, and I know there are a lot of years ahead of me. You know, years of stress, maybe not the ideal lifestyle for others, and debt. But I'm doing it because I love it, because I wanna make a difference. Just like each and every one of you here today wanna make a difference, but in their own way. So the thing is, if I allow myself to falter because of these things, then I will give up on my dream. Then each and every one of you here today will give up on their dreams too. So don't be afraid of anything. You know, we all have our up moments, but we also have our down moments, which I'm sure you will surpass. You know, I told you that language was one of the barriers I encountered when I came to this country, and my dream was to get into 4 years college. My first letter was rejection from Hunter College. Hey, Hunter, how are you? Well, my second letter was acceptance from City College, and I'm proud where I am today. So I'm not telling you it will be easy. No, 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 it will not be easy. But I'm telling you it will be rewarding. I'm telling you, young generation, you can do it. And it does not matter how many stops you're gonna have in between or what path you're gonna take. But what matters at the end is that you reach your dream. And dream is work in progress. It's achieved with discipline and consistency. And understand that life does not become tougher. We become stronger. The people we meet and the chances we take make us who we are. They strengthen our character. You all should be proud. You earned the right to be here. And all of you, you know, possess different talents. Some of you will be doctors, some will be engineers, some will be teachers, some will be preachers, and many more. I want to tell you, if you are thinking day and night about your dream, you are on the right path, as long as you supplement those thoughts with the right actions. Young graduates, years have passed and progress was made, and more is on the way. But something very important, once you reach your goal, remember people who were there for you when you needed them the most. So reach back when you can and share your expertise with others. And make sure to be humble no matter how far you advance in your career. And help others, because as Denzel Washington says, there is nothing better than that. The gratification you get, not even jewelry, not even money can replace it. And my dad always says, you know, it's a circle, and one day you'll find the person who will help you during your difficult situation. So, you know, we are now thinking we are done with City College. We're really not. I figured that one of the best ways that we can give back to our community, City College community, is by doing our best in our careers, because no matter where we go, we are representing City College. So be persistent, work hard, and don't give up. Be persistent, work hard, and don't give up. Because years will pass faster than you think, and you will look at the progress you have made, and you will say, thank you that I haven't given up. So be strong, be committed, and be persistent. Thank you all, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Alumni Association and congratulate you on your exemplary academic record. Thank you.
The valedictory address will now be given by Rosemary Bijou, valedictorian of the class of 2022. Following the address, Mr. Gary Kalnick, president of the Alumni Association, will present Ms. Bijou with the Alumni Association's Medal of Excellence.
First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that without the grace of God, I could not be here with you today. With that being said, congratulations, class of 2022. Thank you, President Boudreau, Dean Green, Ms. Scala, Dr. Fauci, honored guests, and the entire platform party for the opportunity to speak today. I want to also thank my family, my mom, my dad, and my brothers. Rosh, who's 8 years old and has been in a terrible mood today. So can we give a round of applause for Rosh? Okay, he's starting to smile now, so that's good. My friends, many of whom I see right now, thank you so much for being here. And my many mentors at City College for your continued support and love. You know, I never thought I would start this speech with a quote because I didn't want to be cliche, but here we go. Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Go home and love my family to change the world. When I stand here before you today, I see our future novelists, engineers, our future lawyers, workers, physicians, our future thinkers, together in one space. And I'm in awe. Because for each of us to come to this moment took dedication, hard work, commitment, some tears, or many tears, and many moments of resilience. I mean, do you remember the sleepless nights cramming for exams? Let's just say physics wasn't exactly my strong suit. Do you remember the restless days working on that project, that paper, that PowerPoint, producing, designing, creating, to gain the knowledge and skills necessary to become who we desire to become? I mean, why else would we do Anki for so many hours a day, right? So I expected Mother Teresa to say, if you want to change the world, do it, as Nike would say. But she didn't. She said, go home and love your family. In this country, driven by the desire to be productive and accomplish, we often forget and need to be reminded that our worth is not dependent on our work. I really love your energy. Embryology. She's great. Our worth and value solely resides in our humanity. But do we recognize this? Do we recognize that our worth is equal in value to the person sitting next to us? In a society that values financial success, what we wear, how we look, it's easy to allow those things to dictate our worth. But wouldn't you agree that the homeless person on the street has equal value as you and me? Because does he not also desire the very thing every human heart desires, to love and to be loved? So when we look at the problems of today, we as future leaders, teachers, inventors, future parents, and healers. Let us be driven by a desire to treat each person with the worth that is granted them through their humanity. Let us build, think, write, cook, create, and heal to bridge the gap in our communities where love is underserved, areas where there is darkness, where once humanity is forgotten due to poverty, pain, prejudice, discrimination, or hate. To provide this very thing, we must see there is no us and them. There is only us, many humans, journeying together in this boat of life, longing for the very same thing, to love and to be loved. If we find common ground and recognize this very intrinsic desire of every human heart, regardless of the problem we try to tackle, we can have peaceful discussions. We can have conversations. Conversation that is not emotionally charged, jarring, or accusatory, but one that understands that the deeper longing of both hearts desire the very same end, to love and to be loved. Yet to accomplish this, we must bring peace and resolve the way we see each other. How can we end homelessness if we see the homeless as less human? How can healthcare be a human right if some people are seen as less human? How can we tackle the problems of society when the units that make up society, the family, are disordered? This is where we can effect change. Can we look at our mothers and fathers and love them? Can we treat them with respect and dignity regardless of our disagreements and recognize that they are human and not less? What would happen if we each went home and worked hard to create a peaceful home? I say worked hard because, trust me, I know. A peaceful home is no small endeavor, because love is a choice after all, although sometimes a difficult one. I would argue this is the key to a peaceful society. Family units where children are loved and formed in love, because these children go on to love others in their schools and in their communities. When this is disordered, well, as they say, hurt people hurt people. When we're hurting, the world gives us many ways to escape reality and just be absent. Let us choose to be present in our families and with each other. With the education and knowledge we have, let us intentionally choose to love, to produce a peaceful home and a peaceful nation. During the isolation we faced in the past few years, depression rose. For many of us, classes became difficult. For others, family issues resurfaced. But more than ever, we recognized that we need each other. Look at the person sitting next to you. We all carry something. I love that. Everyone's head just... We all carry something. Some burdens, some wounds, some hurts. Despite the pain, we are not alone. Because the problem of one person, one family, is a problem plaguing an entire community, an entire nation. Let us then be graduates of peace, advancing with our knowledge the ability to understand one another and truly listen to one another, recognizing this life is not about you versus me. It's about us, our families, our communities, our society, our nations. As graduates of peace, we're called to tackle the roots of these wounds in our communities, to restore peace in the family, to order the disordered. As graduates of peace, we're called to enter into the need, to better study and understand the problem, because where there is deep need, there we find our purpose, there we find our meaning. As graduates of peace, there we can create practical solutions, there we can serve. So as graduates of peace, as human beings who can see the worth, value, and dignity of every human life, let us rise to the challenge and the need present before us, because we, graduates of peace, are necessary. We are needed. After all, there is only us, many hearts craving the very same thing, to love and to be loved. Who else, if not us, will rise to the challenge? Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Alumni Association and congratulate you on your exemplary academic record, as well as the comments you made.
The Provost of the College, Dr. Tony Liss, will present the candidates for the honorary degrees. Provost Liss.
President Boudreau, I have the honor to present the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa, to Stanley Nelson.
Mr. Stanley Nelson, a 1976 CCNY alumnus, is the leading contemporary documentarian of the African American experience. His films combine compelling narratives with a rich historical detail to illuminate the underexplored American past. Mr. Nelson's latest documentary film is the Oscar-nominated Attica with Tracy A. Curry on the 1971 prison uprising. His other films include the Emmy-nominated Tulsa Burning, the 1921 race massacre with Marco Williams, Crack, Cocaine with Corruption and Conspiracy, and Miles Davis, Birth of the Cool, which was Grammy nominated for the Best Music Film of 2020. In addition, Mr. Nelson's The Black Panthers, Vanguard of the Revolution is the first comprehensive feature-length historical documentary portrait of that organization, as well as a timely look at an earlier phase of Black activism around police violence in African American communities. Mr. Stanley Nelson is a MacArthur Genius Fellow and received the National Humanities Medal from President Obama in 2013. The City College of New York recognizes Mr. Nelson's outstanding career in documentary film and his dedication to crafting profound and deeply researched documentaries that spotlight African American history and experiences. The City College of New York is proud to honor Mr. Stanley Nelson with the degree Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Congratulations to the class of 22. I had no idea that this would be an emotional experience. But I'm a graduate of City College, class of 76. That's the only degree I have. I didn't go to USC or UCLA or NYU after that. That's all I needed was a degree from City College. I graduated in January, and so I received my degree in the mail. It was a little folded up piece of paper, and I didn't come back to the graduation. So this is my first City College graduation. And it's an emotional one for me. I also have to, give my bona fides. I was raised on 148th and Riverside. My mother was a Sikh librarian at City College for 20 years. My sister, Jill Nelson, also graduated from City College. I live on 143rd and Convent Avenue. Our office is on 144th and Hamilton Terrace. So City College is in my blood. As I look out at your beautiful faces, and you are beautiful, it's just incredible to see you and see those beautiful faces. It's your world now, it's your world. Love it, take care of it, change it, because it's yours. Congratulations again to me and the class of 22. Congratulations.
Hold up now. I, your president, messed up. I was supposed to say, to make it official, Stanley Nelson, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the City University of New York, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa. Congratulations, now it is official.
The Honorable Charles E. Schumer, Senior Senator of the State of New York, will now bring greetings to the 2022 graduating class. Senator
First, to the
Schumer.
class of 2022, congratulations! You've made it! Now, I'd like to thank President Boudreau, all the members of the faculty, the staff, the administrative people, all the way down to the people who keep the place clean at night. You have made City College of New York and the City University one of the greatest institutions of higher learning, not just in New York City, not just in New York State, not just in the U.S., but in the world. So congratulations. And let me congratulate my friend Dr. Fauci as well. Now, I'd like to say a word to the parents. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat where you did and watched our daughter Jessica get her diploma. It was one of the greatest days of our lives. You've been through a lot as parents, not easy raising kids, but now you get to watch all your blood and your sweat and your tears pay off as your son or daughter walks on this stage and becomes an adult before your very eyes. And parents, there's more coming. Last night I was at the hospital at 2:13 a.m. and my daughter gave birth to my granddaughter. She's a beautiful little girl. And her name, by the way, is Eleanor, named after Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah. Okay. And another word another word of thanks. Last week was Memorial Day. We're having a great time here, but there are a lot of young men and young women from this community who are in our armed forces and serving our country, often in dangerous places overseas. I see some of them over there. Let's have a round of applause for them. And one more serious note. in memory of those who tragically lost their lives in Buffalo, in Uvalde, in Tulsa, and from so many other senseless acts of gun violence that occur on our street corners. We must do everything possible to get these damn guns and these weapons of war off our streets, out of our communities, and we cannot rest. We will fight till we achieve it. Okay, now, to this great class of 2022. The challenges of the last few years, as you know, have really been unique. I'm sure when you enrolled at City College, you knew there'd be a lot of new experiences, but I'm sure you didn't count on a global pandemic. And yet, here you are, having overcome all that, having earned a degree from one of the greatest institutions of higher learning in the world. You overcame immense obstacles to get here. Nothing and nobody can take it away from you. And of course, we have a lot more work to do. Little by little, we're seeing signs that life's returning to normal. It took a lot to reach that point. All right, they are great back there. As Senate Majority Leader, first from New York, I worked hard to pass the American Rescue Plan, which put dollars in the pockets of millions of New Yorkers and hundreds of thousands of our little businesses so they could survive. And right now, I'm pushing to get President Biden to forgive $50,000 in undergraduate and graduate student loans so that burden is not around your necks. So, graduates, let me just say, we all know this is a time of profound economic and social change. In the old days, when you graduated from college, the odds were pretty high you'd have the same job in the same field for 40, 50 years. That's not true anymore. Most of you will have several jobs, many of you several careers. Along with these economic changes, the internet has put so much information at our fingertips, it's sometimes hard to figure out what's important and what's not, what's true and what's not. And on the internet, unfortunately, often the loudest voices get the most attention. But the good news, class of 22, is this about our changing world. No generation is better equipped to overcome the obstacles that these changes present, to seize the opportunities they afford than yours is. But right now, sitting in your seats, you may not be sure of what's coming next. With so much of the world changing so rapidly around you, sometimes it may feel like you're jumping into the abyss. But graduates, the key, don't fear the unknown. Embrace it, relish it, soak up every possibility it has to offer and cast aside your fears. My advice to this great class of 2022 is simple. Go for it. And how do I know? Yeah, go for it. You're right. Come on, Orange, let's get up and go for it. Now, oh man. Well, how do I know about these doubts? I remember feeling them when I was your age. When I was seated at college graduation many years ago, I had just learned that I'd won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I came from a family that didn't have much money. My dad was an exterminator. I'd never been out of the country before, so what an opportunity. But at the same time, I met a girl, and I fell in love. Aww. So graduates, I had to decide. Do I go around the world on the all-expense-paid scholarship for a year? Or do I stay home with the girl, my first true love? What would you have done, class of 2022? President Boudreau, the class is divided. I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap now, you romantics there in the purple shirts. The story continues. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face, something was the matter. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You're never going to make anything of yourself. And in fact, I sat in my basement in my house, moped around for several months, didn't even go out. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and moved forward. And a few years later, I found myself seated at graduation once again, this time from law school. But on the way home from college, I told Mom and Dad I wasn't going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them I wanted to help my community. I told them I loved politics. I told them I wanted to run for public office. That was my dream. Well, my parents were shocked. My mom was particularly disappointed. As I mentioned, I grew up in a working-class family. They struggled to send me to college and law school. The law firm, this fancy law firm, was paying $400 a week, more money than my family had ever known. But my heart wasn't in it. My dream was to run for office, and so at the age of 23, against very long odds, I ran for the New York State Assembly, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate, there was a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So as she said, I'd get this dumb idea of being an elected official out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I sure didn't get that girl. But that November, I won the election. So to this great class, City 2022, on this day of your achievement, my advice, take the risk. We all have fear of failing. Don't let it deter you. You know, for those of us who've gotten older, some of the toughest moments are what I'd call the what-ifs. What if I'd only done this? What if I'd only gone there? But you, I know you're about to cast off into the unknown, and I know it's scary. But you've got amazing assets, one of the best undergraduate educations that anyone can get, families that are always going to have your back through thick and thin. So graduates, garner up your courage, garner up your strength, put aside your doubts, take a chance. And if you do, it is my hope, it is my fervent prayer, and it is my confidence that every one of you, each of you, will achieve true joy and true satisfaction and success in life. To this great class of 2022, congratulations, good luck, Godspeed, and don't forget, go for it.
Thank you, Senator Schumer. And now Provost List and President Boudreau will continue with the presentation of honorary degrees.
President Boudreau, pay attention, you folks. President Boudreau, I have the honor to present the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Dr. Anthony S. Fauci is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, and chief medical advisor to the President of the United States. As NIAID director at the United States National Institutes of Health, Dr. Fauci oversees an extensive research portfolio focused on infectious and immune-mediated diseases. As the longtime chief of the NIAID Laboratory of Immunoregulation, Dr. Fauci has made many seminal contributions in basic and clinical research and is one of the world's most cited biomedical scientists. Dr. Anthony S. Fauci was one of the principal architects of the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, a program that has saved millions of lives throughout the developing world. In 2008, President George W. Bush awarded Dr. Fauci the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States, for his PEPFAR work. At the start of the Biden administration, Dr. Fauci began serving as one of the lead members of the White House COVID-19 response team and as President Biden's chief medical advisor. The City College of New York recognizes Dr. Anthony S. Fauci's outstanding career in biomedical research and as a medical advisor, as well as his dedication to the highest ethical standards and moral principles through his service. The City College of New York is proud to honor Dr. Anthony S. Fauci with the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, by the powers vested in me by the trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, President Boudreau, for that kind introduction, and let me express my heartfelt gratitude to you and to the members of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York for this distinguished honorary degree, particularly meaningful for me to having received it from a great professional, Mr. now Stanley Nelson. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Members of the faculty, distinguished guests, family members, and friends of the graduates, and you, the 2022 graduating class of the City College of New York, it is my truly great pleasure and honor to be here with you today in this wonderful city and to speak at your commencement. Let me say I am thrilled to be here in New York, my old hometown. Some of you may know that I was born and raised in the Bensonhurst section of Brooklyn. And I had the good fortune to attend Regis High School over on the East Side, and later went to medical school and did my internship and residency training at Cornell University, New York Hospital, now referred to as Weill Cornell Medicine, right here in New York City. For these reasons and more, I treasure my New York City roots. For me, City College has been a New York City landmark and a beacon of light for aspiring students since it opened as the Free Academy 175 years ago. Far into its now second century, your institution's steadfast commitment to educational access for all has been extraordinary and well noted. Yours is not an ivory tower university cloistered from the world, but a visionary urban college integrated into the world, a dynamic institution at the forefront of social change, an institution you should be justly proud to graduate from. I know I would have been if I graduated from this place. For decades, people like many of you graduating today from widely diverse and often modest backgrounds, and frequently born in other countries, have pursued the varied academic pathways available at City College to help create, as you've heard from other speakers, a fulfilling and better life. Because I am a second-generation Italian-American of immigrant grandparents, I feel a kinship to many of you. Both sets of my grandparents came to America from Italy at the turn of the 20th century, speaking not a word of English. I am forever grateful that they passed on to my parents, who imparted to me and my sister, as I imagine many of your parents did to you, how important education is to anchor yourselves and forge a rewarding life in this wonderful, beautiful country of ours. Let us talk about today's graduation. I have been privileged to deliver commencement addresses over more than 3 decades, often I have begun by recalling for the audience, like yourselves, my own graduation from college, describing some commonalities of experiences in our shared rites of passage. Clearly, that would not be appropriate in addressing your class. We cannot escape the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic has profoundly upended your college experience. Your very presence here today at graduation is testimony to your extraordinary resilience, resolve, and character that enabled you to complete your studies and to graduate amid immense difficulties and uncertainties. Together, your class faced one of the most traumatic public health crises in human history. I have the highest esteem for each and every one of you, your professors, and the leaders of this fine institution for pulling together and employing the best of your collective ingenuity, your passion, and your perseverance to find a way through the hardships posed by this pandemic to get to this very bright day of your celebration. This has been your experience for now nearly 2.5 years. Let us now look forward and reflect briefly on a few of the issues now challenging our society that you will be confronted with, some of these accentuated by the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe that your education here at City College and the spirit of the student body that you have been part of have prepared you to address these challenges, and I want to share some thoughts with you about this. First, the concept of public service and social responsibility. As you know, City College has a legacy of notable alumni, many who have gone on to prominent careers in public service. Among these notables include my late dear friend, former Secretary of State, Colin Powell, Henry Kissinger, another iconic Secretary of State, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the former United States Senator, and Felix Frankfurter, former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. And of course, the great scientist Jonas Salk, who, although not a career public servant, developed a polio vaccine that helped alter the trajectory of public health. I hope that some of you will just consider following the example of these distinguished alumni and entering a career in public service. For there is a need in our country for a better reflection of our racial, ethnic, and cultural diversity among leaders in public health, including in my own field of science and medicine. But regardless, we need you, but regardless of your chosen career path, there are pressing societal issues exist that none of us as individuals should ignore. In many parts of our country, communities are undermined by poverty, violence, drug addiction, inadequate health care, discrimination, and despair. Societies around the world are beset by additional problems that pose great challenges, such as uncontrolled endemic disease, poverty, starvation, infant mortality, refugee populations, violence against women, and the reappearing specter of genocide, most recently manifested by the immoral and deplorable invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Now, some of you may devote your careers to directly addressing these or other social issues. Understandably, most of you will not. Yet, standing up for social justice and contributing to the social good and bettering someone else's life by doing so can be incorporated into your own lives, regardless of whether you do this as a professional career. Dr. Stanley Nelson is not a professional public service, but what he does is serving the public. Please take this into serious consideration as you leave City College, because each and every one of you can do that. Which leads me to my next point of discussion: health inequities. We cannot escape the spotlight that COVID has shown on one of the great failings in our society, the lack of health equity. As a physician, I feel that I must highlight this for you today. Mere weeks into the pandemic, this was glaringly obvious to me. Over the course of the pandemic, long-standing disparities that undermine the health of racial and ethnic minorities have been starkly exposed. Many people in minority groups work in frontline jobs that do not allow employees to socially isolate or to work from home. And so each day, essential workers face a tough choice: to put their lives and that of their loved ones at increased risk of COVID-19 by going to these high-risk jobs, or to put their livelihoods at increased risk if they chose not to. Additionally, many people in minority groups who get infected with the coronavirus are more likely to become severely ill because these groups in general have higher rates of underlying medical conditions, such as hypertension, diabetes, obesity, among others, that increases the chances of hospitalization and death. Importantly, we must remember that these conditions are not genetically determined by race. Nearly all of these conditions are closely related to the social determinants of health experienced since birth, including the lack of access to a healthful diet, to health care, and tragically, obstacles and prejudice experienced because of the undeniable racism that persists in our society. We must not let our collective memory of the health inequities revealed during this pandemic fade. Together, we must engage our wisdom, courage, empathy, and imagination to support health equity and to tackle entrenched elements of injustice manifested in so many subtle and sometimes overt ways, to help heal the cultural disease of racism and its downstream negative effects on health, just as we've worked to heal the viral disease of COVID-19. If ever there was a time was right to undertake this enormous challenge, it is now. Next, leadership. The world you are graduating into is wounded and changed from a few years ago, but is recovering slowly. As we transition into our new normal, as it were, I am confident that many of you will play important leadership roles in shaping this process. You cannot do it alone, but it cannot be done without you and your leadership. What I mean by leadership is not necessarily designated positions of leadership with a title. Rather, leadership can be acquired through life lessons and experiences, and is a moral bearing that may take many forms, including the quiet, and subtle leadership of your own example. Another important period of your life has been and continues to be lived under a specter of this historic pandemic. However, I have great faith that this experience will strengthen you and hone the leadership skills that are critical for our future. Which brings me to my final point of discussion, which truly troubles me greatly, and for which the country and the world truly needs your help. I refer to the normalization of untruths. It is blatantly obvious that we are experiencing a deepening divisiveness in our nation, fed by a flagrant devaluation of the truth. While genuine differences of opinion or ideology are part of a healthy society, increasingly, we are hearing, reading, and seeing outlandish statements and pronouncements propped up by deliberate distortions of reality. Fabrications, conspiracy theories, and outright lies are becoming commonplace from radical fringe groups as well as from people who you would hope would know better, and you know who they are. Yet, segments of our society have grown increasingly inured to such falsehoods, while the outrage and dissent against this alarming trend have been relatively muted, and when voiced, are regularly castigated. If you remember nothing else of what I say today, I appeal to you, please remember this. It is our collective responsibility not to tacitly accept the normalization of untruths, because if we do, we invite danger to ourselves, our families, our communities, and our country. This is how a society declines into a way of life where veracity becomes subservient to propaganda rather than being upheld as our guiding principle. Each of us has a responsibility to counter this divisiveness that is tearing us apart. Reject the politicization of science that denigrates evidence and facts and the rigorous process of scientific investigation that continually reveals new data and truths. Apply your skills in critical thinking that you have learned here at City College to discern those weak arguments from the strong and to renounce pronouncements built on untruths and outright lies. Resist the temptation, however, to let differences of opinion about which you might feel fuel hostility. By seeking and listening to opinions that differ from your own, our connections can be revealed, our differences can be explored, misunderstandings can be clarified, and a respectful path forward can be found. In closing, I want to put aside the serious business for a moment to celebrate you, all of you, on your day of graduation. Your professional lives are taking shape upon the rich educational foundation that you have acquired here at the City College of New York. While you are pursuing your professional aspirations, I encourage each of you to find time in your daily lives to embrace that which brings you happiness and joy. Allow yourselves to cultivate this joy as much as you do your professional accomplishments. And so think upon your future as that stated by the American political theorist John H. Shaw, and I quote, "The future is not some place we are going to, but one we are creating. The paths are not to be found, but made. And the activity of making them changes both the maker and the destination. I have no doubt that you in the City College of New York class of 2022 are going to be leaders in strengthening the bonds in our society and in safeguarding truth, justice, diversity, and equality in building that bright future together. And so congratulations to you, your families, and your loved ones. Good luck, and God bless you.
President Boudreau, candidates for degrees in coursework will now be presented to you by Provost Tony Liss. Provost Liss.
We'll get to this in a minute, but this is just too beautiful not to record. Been saying this into a camera for the last 2 years, and this is better. Candidates for degrees and undergraduate degrees in the Bernard and Ann Spitzer School of Architecture will be presented by Dean Marta Gutman. Candidates for graduate degrees, please rise and make some noise. Candidates for undergraduate degrees, please rise and make some noise.
Do that, okay?
Tell him to stay up.
Stay up, stand up, Spitzer. All right. President Boudreau, the Bernard and Ann Spitzer School of Architecture, educates the next generation of design leaders in landscape architecture, urban design, urban sustainability, and architecture. Today marks both the promise of a new era, we hope beyond the shadow of the pandemic, and also an opportunity for these young designers to translate the profound lessons of the past years into a new vision for a more equitable, inclusive, healthy, and resilient urban environment. Spitzer class of 2022, this year, I am certain you will change the world for the better. I am so proud of your accomplishments and your perseverance. You have taught us much about the importance of education, especially during this time. You have inspired all of us in your search for racial, gender, and environmental justice. President Boudreau, I am honored to present this graduating class to you and to wish them the greatest of success in their young careers. Congratulations to all of our CCNY graduates today.
So this is for everybody. The next line on my script is, thank you, Dean Gutman. Candidates may sit down. Before you do, just remember this is your last chance to celebrate yourselves. Spitzer School. Thank you, Dean Gutman. Candidates, please sit down. Graduates, please sit down.
Candidates for graduate degrees and undergraduate degrees in the Grove School of Engineering will be Didn't know engineers could be so crazy. Candidates from the Grove School of Engineering will be presented by Dean Alexander Kouzes. And now I'm supposed to tell you to rise, but you've done that. So make some noise.
Grove School of Engineering students, rise, make lots of noise, and celebrate your graduation today. President Boudreau, The students of the Grove School of Engineering are trailblazers and a little bit crazy. They see where the challenges in our world exist and use their technical acumen and training to create a better world for all of us. Following in the footsteps of some of our most esteemed alumni, like Andrew Grove, our students are leaders and they will drive innovation worldwide. Today, we graduate more than 700 engineers and computer scientists that will make a tremendous contribution to society. I also have the very distinct honor to presenting the 10th cohort of doctoral students at the City College of New York in its 175-year history. I also have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Engineering, Masters of Science, Bachelor's degree in Engineering, and Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. Celebrate your degree. You all have earned it. These have been very difficult times. I am so proud of all of you. You cannot believe it. And this is my first time up here, so I have to brag a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean Kouzes. Candidates, please take your seats.
Candidates for graduate degrees and undergraduate degrees in the School of Education. Candidates in the School of Education will be presented by Dean Edwin M. Lamboy.
Hello, everybody. Let me check the time. Oh, I can still say buenos días a todos. President Boudreau, a high-quality education is the birthright of every child in America. That's right. The graduates of the School of Education are prepared and committed to improving the life chances of children and youth everywhere, but especially in this great global city. Through thoughtful and innovative preparation, they have developed the knowledge, skills, and dispositions to provide rigorous and engaging learning opportunities for all children, as well as an understanding and respect for linguistic and ethnic diversity, the communities they will serve as teachers and school leaders, and the role that public education must play in advancing social justice in our democratic nation. I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science in Education, and the candidates for advanced certificates in School Building Leader, District Leader, Mathematics Education, Science Education, Spanish Education, English Education, I'm not done, Social Studies Education, Early Childhood Education, and Educational Theater, as well as the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Education. As I told you on Wednesday, it is my honor to be your dean, and congratulations. Felicidades.
Thank you, Dean Lamboy. Candidates, please take your seats.
Okay, this is a first for us for an in-person graduation, and Dr. Fauci, we are happy to have you here for this. Candidates from the CUNY School of Medicine at City College and the Sophie Davis undergraduate program in biomedical education will be presented by Dean Carmen Renee Green. Dr. Green.
You're the provost.
Medical doctors, candidates from the CUNY School of Medicine, please rise.
Just the MDs? The wannabes, you get to wait your moment. President Boudreaux, 4 stand here today for 84. There is an urgent and dire need for physicians to care for the marginalized, the vulnerable, and the medically underserved. There's a dire need to recruit excellent and a more diverse and underrepresented people into medicine. As the only public medical school in New York City, the City University of New York School of Medicine is New York City's medical school. We produce the doctors that New Yorkers wish to see. Our MD graduates have completed a rigorous and accelerated bachelor's degree within an MD degree within 7 years. Established in 2016, our school, the City University of New York School of Medicine, builds upon the historic excellence of the undergraduate Sophie Davis Biomedical Education Program, which was established almost 50 years ago. This is our 3rd graduating class, and this marks the first in-person graduation of medical doctors from the CUNY School of Medicine. The first 2 classes of medical doctors graduated early and were dispatched immediately to the front lines in our battle against the COVID pandemic. They fought healthcare disparities and improved the lives of people in New York and beyond. Today's MD graduates join the fray. They bring their excellence, dedication, and sensibility to bear on providing the highest level of health care. The City University of New York School of Medicine MDs are healers and leaders. They have lived their oath since our inception and are as diverse as New York City itself. President Boudreaux, as Dean of the City University of New York School of Medicine, I have the honor to present our next generation of healers and leaders, the CUNY School of Medicine candidates for the medical doctor degree. They have already demonstrated their commitment to addressing the social determinants of health, health equity, and social justice, as well as eliminating health and healthcare inequities in our time. President Boudreaux.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dean Green. Candidate, you may take your seat.
And now, the Sophie Davis undergraduate program in biomedical education. Bachelor of Science candidates from the Sophie Davis School at the CUNY School of Medicine. It's a little confusing. Please rise.
President Boudreaux, these young people are amazing as well. There is an urgent and dire need to address education and health disparities. There's a need to recruit excellent and underrepresented people into medicine and in the biomedical research pipeline to promote educational and health equity. There is a physician shortage, and doctors are desperately needed to care for the people most at risk for healthcare disparities. Minorities, vulnerable, marginalized, and medically underserved people. The Sophie Davis program was founded in 1973. It's continuing building upon that 49-year tradition to help these people to address these issues and improve population health. As Dean of the City University of New York School of Medicine, I have the honor to present our next generation of healers and leaders, the Sophie Davis candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. These graduates have completed a rigorous, accelerated 3-year BS program and have started the medical curriculum already. They have started already. They will graduate today. They will begin their first year of medical school in the fall. Like our valedictorian, have already demonstrated their commitment to addressing the social determinants of health, health equity, and continue to be warriors for social justice. They have committed to working to eliminate educational and health disparities in our time. President Boudreau.
Thank you, Dean Green. It's last chance, guys. Candidates, please take your seats.
I don't know if we have any students from the Colin Powell School here today. Okay, good. Candidates for degrees and for graduate degrees and candidates for undergraduate degrees in the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership, which includes the Departments of Anthropology, Gender Studies and International Studies, Economics and Business, Political Science, Psychology and Sociology, will be presented by Dean Andrew Rich. Candidates for graduate degrees, please rise. Candidates for master's degrees, please rise, sorry. So always different. Candidates for doctorate degrees, please rise. Candidates for master's degrees, please rise. And candidates for undergraduate degrees, please rise.
President Boudreau, the mission of the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership is to transform one of the nation's most diverse student populations into tomorrow's global leaders. The future of New York City and the nation requires globally minded leaders who are able to engage in analytically rigorous and evidence-informed debates. We need people trained in the social sciences who can lead radical reimaginings of ways to address the current injustices, inequities in our city and society. That is what we train for at the Colin Powell School, inspired by the example of General Colin L. Powell himself, our namesake and our leader until his death last October. And these are the qualities that can be found among our nearly 1,000 candidates for degrees today, including our very first PhD recipient in clinical psychology. Our degree candidates are poised to make a positive difference in domestic and international politics and policy, law, business and finance, and individual and organizational psychological well-being. They are prepared to take power and to challenge systems of power and to be part of a new generation of leaders across sectors and in service to society. We expect great things from every one of you. It's my honor, President Boudreau, to present to you the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Masters of Public Administration, Master of International Affairs, and Master of Science and candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Dean Rich. Candidates, please take your seats.
Candidates from the Division of the Humanities and the Arts. Which includes the departments of Art, English, Classical and Modern Languages and Literatures, History, Media and Communication Arts, Music, Philosophy, and Theater, and programs in Asian Studies, Black Studies, and Jewish Studies will now be presented by Interim Dean Renata Miller.
President Boudreau, in the Division of Humanities and the Arts, we seek to understand human society and culture by studying languages, literatures, arts, philosophies, histories, theater, media, and music from around the globe. We change human culture and society by creating the images we see in daily life, in advertisements or film or on the stage, and the things we hear on the radio and in concerts, and the things we read, and the histories that are written and examined. Studying humanities and the arts builds our capacity for empathy, for critical thinking, and for imagining new possibilities. Our graduates are thus prepared to build a more just and equitable world and to become leaders in every field of endeavor.
Is everybody up? Okay, thank you, Dean Miller. Candidates, please take your seats.
Candidates from the Division of Science, which includes the departments of Biology, Chemistry and Biochemistry, Earth and Atmospheric Science, Mathematics, and Physics. That's all I get for physics. Candidates for doctoral degrees, please rise. Nobody here. Candidates for graduate degrees, please rise. Candidates for undergraduate degrees, please rise. The candidates will be presented by Dean Susan Perkins.
President Boudreau, for 175 years now, the Division of Science at City College has welcomed students from New York City and all over the globe who've come to us with curious minds about the worlds around us. We take great pride in having been an instrumental part of the journey of 10 Nobel Prize winners, as well as the journeys of the students you see before you here today. Our graduates, like those who have come before them, will become leaders and changers in research, medicine, education, business, and in other careers. Whether in the lab or in the classroom, or yes, sadly, as has been the case in recent years in front of a Zoom screen, we have always sought to inspire and instill of the graduates of the Division of Science not just basic scientific and mathematical knowledge and skills, but even more fundamentally, a desire to never stop learning and to always retain that curiosity and drive that brought them here in the first place. It is my great honor as Dean of the Division of Science to present to you our candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Masters of Science, and Bachelor of Science. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Perkins. Candidates, please be seated eventually.
Candidates for undergraduate and graduate degrees from the Division of Interdisciplinary Studies at the Center for Worker Education will be presented by Dean Juan Carlos Mercado. Candidates, please rise.
President Boudreau. President Boudreau, you know very well that the transformative power of higher education belongs not just to our youth. It is also a rich and deep experience for those who can bring the real-world experience to the enterprise. The candidates for Bachelor and Master of Arts in the Division of Interdisciplinary Studies at the Center for Work Education have returned to school as adults. Their college studies are informed by their varied life experience and a keen desire to learn. I am honored to present them to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Mercado. Candidates, please take your seats.
We love you guys. Those who have worked toward the Master of Science degrees through Sustainability in the Urban Environment program will be recognized by Professor Kyle McDonald, Director of the Sustainability in the Urban Environment Master of Science program at the City College of New York. Sustainability and Urban Environment students, please rise.
President Boudreau, we are proud to commend to your attention the students and now graduates from the Sustainability in the Urban Environment program who have earned their Master of Science degrees through offerings from the Division of Science, the Spitzer School of Architecture, the Grove School of Engineering, and the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership. These individuals arrived here with a passion for safeguarding the health of our planet and building a sustainable society. They came to us with a passion for ensuring the health of our planet in the face of rapid urbanization, climate change, and resource limitations. By capitalizing on their interdisciplinary perspectives and skills, and by together advancing integrative and holistic ways of thinking, they are now well positioned to confront the challenges faced by Earth's life-sustaining system and to work at reducing humanity's heavy footprint on an increasingly fragile Earth. We look to them with hope, and we offer our encouragement as they strive to build better urban futures, cities more ecologically robust, economically resilient, and socially just.
Thank you, Director McDonald. Candidates, you may take your seats.
Those who have worked toward their degrees through the SEEK program will be recognized by Professor Sherry Rings, the director of the SEEK program. SEEK students, please rise.
President Boudreaux, born out of the civil rights movement, the CCNY SEEK program was the first SEEK program within CUNY. For more than 50 years, SEEK has supported students in their search for education, elevation, and knowledge. Our 2022 graduates have persevered despite the many challenges faced over the past few years. And now, this phase of their search has been successfully completed. It is, therefore, with great pleasure and an even greater sense of pride that I commend to your special attention students in the SEEK program who have earned their baccalaureate degrees through all of the divisions and schools of the college. Congratulations, Seekers!
Thank you, Director Rings. Seekers, please take your seats.
We're getting close, folks. As representatives of their classmates, will Nathan Faraz, Anissa Saeed, President of the Undergraduate Student Government, Jennifer Bowen, Executive Chair of the Graduate Student Council, Rosemarie Bijou, Valedictorian, and Ali Khalil, Salutatorian, please come forward and stand by President Boudreaux. President Boudreaux, all of the candidates for degrees have been presented to you. Will all candidates for doctoral, master's, advanced certificate, and baccalaureate degrees please rise? That's all of you. President Boudreaux, I present to you the candidates for doctoral degrees, the candidates for master's degrees, the candidates for advanced certificates, and the candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the City College of New York. These candidates have fulfilled all the requirements of their respective degrees, and on behalf of the faculty, I recommend that they be awarded these degrees.
Hammer time, everybody. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby confer your degrees upon you with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Please move your tassels. We welcome you to the company of scholars. Congratulations and good wishes. Move your tassels to the left if you haven't done it already. You are graduates. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. Will all graduates now please stand while Gary Kalnick, President of the City College Alumni Association, leads you in reciting the Ephebic Oath. The words to the oath are on page 3 of your program.
I wish to add congratulations to the 22 graduating class on behalf of the Alumni Association. The oath that you are about to take to leave your city better and more beautiful than it was handed to you, has been taken by generations of City College students beginning in 1853. Today, we are handing the city to you. Please recite each line of the oath after me. We, men and women graduating from the City College of New York, to this day, after the manner of the Athenian youth of old, about to enter public life, take this oath of devotion to the city of New York. We will never bring disgrace to our city by any act of dishonesty or cowardice, nor ever desert our suffering comrades in the ranks. We will fight for the ideals and the sacred things of the city, both alone and with many. We will revere and obey the city laws and do our best to incite alike respect and reverence in those about us who are prone to annul them and set them anorth. We will strive unceasingly to quicken the public sense of civic duty. And thus, in all these ways, we will strive to transmit this city, and not only, not less, but better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Congratulations.
And now all please rise as Mr. Nathan Faraz sings the college's alma mater, Lavender, My Lavender, accompanied by Professor Mike Holliber. The words to the alma mater can be found on the back cover of the program. We ask that graduates and guests please stay in place until the platform party and faculty have left the area.
Sturdy sons of City College, trusty hearts and mighty hands, rally where your streaming banner with its dauntless emblem stands. Send a cheer to heaven ringing, filled with love and fond acclaim, faith and pride and alma mater, and her never dying fame. Lavender, my lavender, lavender, my lavender, on the field of life's endeavor, bound by ties that naught can sever. Hail we alma mater ever. Lavender, my lavender. Daughters wise of City College, we are wise and we are strong. We will bring you pride and glory with our life's unending song. All will join us in our singing songs of love and fond acclaim, faith and pride and alma mater and her never dying fame. Lavender, my lavender, lavender, my lavender, on the field of life's endeavor, bound by ties that naught can sever. Hail we alma mater ever. Lavender, my lavender. Lavender, my
Congratulations to the class of 2022 of the City College of New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please remain seated or standing, your choice, until after the platform party has exited. And after these people have exited, for all of you attending after commencement ceremonies, please find your way there. Graduates of the Sustainability Program, please proceed to the NAC Ballroom in the North Academic Center, and that ceremony will begin at 12:30. And graduates of the Grove School of Engineering and their guests, you are asked to proceed to the field tent right behind this main stage and check in for the engineering ceremony. Congratulations, you guys, you did it. You're awesome.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray.